Hey guys, it's Katie and this is my life with vEDS. It's been a couple weeks since my last video. The last time I did one, I think I was at a waterfall, which was awesome. I was out for my annual appointment in Washington and got to go on a hike to see a waterfall. And my annual scans came back good, no changes, which was awesome, awesome. So it has been a rough couple weeks, still a little bit raspy. The day that I left for Washington, I actually fell down the stairs in my house and got a nice, big, fast-growing bump on my butt, which ended up being a massive amount of bruising. It was like, it was the whole backside and down my left leg. And shortly after that, I felt like I was going to pass out, and luckily I didn't. But I found out later it was because the massive amount of blood that I was losing from the massive bruising, which ended up turning into a nice big, like this big hematoma on my butt. So I've been dealing with that, but the trip was fun anyway. Got to see all sorts of stuff. I make a big trip out of it. So it's not just going for my doctor's appointment. And when I came back, I got a cold, which rapidly turned into an ear infection that ruptured my right eardrum. And then the next day I felt like I had an ear infection in my left eardrum, and then my left eardrum ruptured. So I'm still a little deaf. I see an ENT next week. But that has been like a common theme through my life, is this like rapid onset chronic ear infections that result in a rupture of the eardrum. So I think a lot of other people with vEDS have also experienced that. If you haven't already seen me ask this question in the vEDS Facebook group, let me know if that's something that you've experienced. I think when I was a kid, I mean, it was like I had ear tubes. I was on antibiotics for a couple years to prevent me from getting an ear infection. And I think I had ear tubes 3 times, and I'm pretty sure my eardrums have ruptured at least 7 or 8 times at this point that I can remember. So it is very frustrating if you've never had an eardrum rupture. The rupture itself doesn't hurt, but the build up to it is excruciating. It was so bad. Like, I never want to go through that again. And I actually went to a doctor the day that I thought I had an ear infection, and the doctor said, no, you don't have an ear infection. And then 6 hours later, my eardrum ruptured. So that wasn't fun. So I'm interested to see what the ENT has to say, because I mean, I think that tissue is probably more likely to rupture because it's thin connective tissue there, but I'm curious. So, and then I was finally to a point where I could felt like I could exercise and everything. And on Sunday, as I was getting ready to leave the house, I bumped my knee on my dresser and ended up with a gash this big on my knee that clearly needed stitches, but I figured that that spot there is a little bit too thin skinned for stitches to hold, especially with where it is on the knee. So we ended up super gluing it together and put butterfly bandages all over the top of it. And it's doing pretty good. So now I'm thinking like super glue is going to be part of my standard routine, because that's a whole lot better than the time sink to go get stitches and the bill from it too. So it was fun. That's been my last couple weeks. It's been very, very hectic. And anyway, lots of exciting things are coming up that aren't health related for me. I'm going to be speaking to CVS Health about vEDS very soon, next week, and giving them information about how my life has been with vEDS and what things that I've learned along the way, and you know, just providing education to them, which is very exciting. And then the 2 weeks after that, I will be in Houston for the Marfan Foundation annual conference, which is going to have vEDS specific tracks and Loeys-Dietz tracks as well. So that's July 11th through the 14th in Houston, and I'm super, super excited about that. If you haven't already signed up and registered and you want to, I'm going to put a link to that in the description of this video. The early registration price, I think, is good till this Friday, Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure it's good through the end of this week. So check it out if you haven't already done so. I think there's like several hundred people registered, and I think 50 of them or so are probably vEDS. I'm really excited, and this is my first time attending their annual conference. Very, very excited about that. So that's it. That's what's going on with me. I hope you guys are doing good, and I will talk to you soon.